Hello, everybody, and welcome. My name is Dr. Eric Verell, and I am a naturopathic doctor. And today we are going to be talking about the mind-body connection. It seems like many have gone from feeling there is little connection between the mind and body to believing that the mind can overcome any problem on its own. While even the Bible says that a merry heart does good, like medicine, it also suggests that herbs and other natural remedies are helpful. There needs to be a balance in looking at the mind-body connection. While having a positive attitude can greatly enhance the healing process, it alone is usually not enough for people with chronic health problems. Since by definition, the problem is chronic, the mind is obviously not overcome this problem on its own. The other reason is that if the body is deficient in some essential nutrient, such as iodine, no amount of thinking is going to create something out of nothing. Additionally, in many chronic health problems, the mind and body is often crying out for nutritional support, especially for the endocrine and/or immune systems. This next section through here is by Dr. Kulkarni, Psychotherapy or Mind Cure. There is no doubt that we can control the disease both of body and mind by giving hopes and assurance to the patient. There are some who can fill others with hope and cheer, and others who cannot. An experienced nurse very often soothes the mind and relieves the sufferings of her patient. An experienced Ayurvedic physician very often quotes a suitable Sanskrit verse from the old authors and explains its meanings to his patient, saying that a certain drug is an excellent remedy for his malady, as some kind of humor in excess in his body. Then the patient feels cheered and confident of his cure, so that he feels considerably relieved in mind. A patient very often feels that he is almost cured when a cheerful nurse assures him that she has seen worse cases cured and he would get all right in a very short time. A student of the author who is now practicing homeopathy and biochemistry told him that their verses composed by the author on homeopathic and biochemic materia medica have been of great use to him. He cited some of the verses to 3 of his patients with the result that he inspired them with confidence and hope, and they felt half cured of their maladies. Dr. Lindlar says, "Every thought and every emotion has its direct effect upon the physical constituents of the body. The mental and emotional vibrations become physical vibrations and structures. Discord in the mind is translated into disease in the body, while the harmonies of hope, faith, cheerfulness, happiness, love, and altruism create in the organism the corresponding health vibrations. In Vedant philosophy, it is said that we have in our physical body one astral body which governs our mind. Our willpower is dependent on it. First, we must strengthen the will. Then we must direct it towards what is good by fixing the mind on it and meditating on it. We should not expect nor attempt for too much in the beginning. Forgetfulness and idleness are the enemies of our will. We should try to cultivate the memory by concentrating our will with etheric power, and by success will be ours. It is now a well-known fact that though suggestions or psychotherapy is not itself able to cure all diseases, it helps a good deal to cure many of them, chiefly nervous disorders and mental troubles. There are various terms with which most people are familiar, such as faith cure, Christian Science cure, mental healing, will cure, hypnotic suggestion, curative mesmerism, etc. The basis of all these is etheric vibration influenced by the will of the person himself or of another, for it is a demonstrated fact that the other penetrates very material substances without expectation, an act of will being composed of etheric vibration energy. Rheumatism, gout, migraine, neuralgia, sciatica, sprue, diarrhea, dysentery, cholera, boils, abscesses, carbuncles, cancers, etc. cannot be cured by faith or suggestion alone. They need sunlight, water, diet, and sometimes suitable homeopathic medicines. Naturopathy agrees with mental science, Christian Science, New Thought, and other mental pathologies in that all disease is originally thought, but with physical culture, sex specialism, dietotherapy, hydrotherapy, and that the manifestation is distinctly material. Does this mean that the mind plays no role in healing? Absolutely not. The mind is very important. It has been estimated that the mind alone can contribute to improvement around 30% of the population. People with positive attitudes combined with proper intervention usually report improvement quicker, report greater improvement, and tend to follow recommendations better. Although naturopaths have helped many people who didn't think they could help by such care, it is much easier helping people who believe they can be helped. Often, in people with chronic health problems, relapses occur. People with better attitudes tend to forge onward and continue with follow-up interventions until they again improve. People with negative attitudes tend to give up faster, especially when improvement is not as immediate, long-lasting, or dramatic, or when relapses occur, although relapses do not occur for everyone. People with better attitudes tend to be more understanding. Those with better attitudes tend to get better faster, though not always. People with positive attitudes seem more willing to make positive changes in their lifestyles, more than those who do not have positive attitudes. For anyone, as the body begins to feel better, the mind takes note. The mind then works with the body to continue the healing process, unless the attitude is severely negative or distrusting. The mind then seems to believe that since the body is improving, it can validate and support the healing. This is an excellent occurrence, which is frequently seen. Relaxing and reducing stress where possible also seems to help the healing process for many people. Although for many, this is nearly impossible until either nutritional status has been sufficiently improved. Any word of caution is probably in order at this point. People with chronic fatigue, for example, often have a tremendous amount of pressure to finish various tasks that they sometimes delay due to their fatigue. In their zeal to accomplish these tasks, some will overexert themselves as they begin to feel better. This is a case of the mind-body connection being pushed a bit too far. It happens all the time. Naturopaths often try to warn clients about overdoing things, as they first improve, as even exercise, for some, can trigger a severe relapse. Thus, the mind-body connection is important, but it is not the only factor in determining improvement for people with chronic health problems. So I have definitely witnessed the mind-body connection with a lot of people, not just as a naturopathic doctor, but just in general. Out in public, I can hear people that just have a negative outlook on everything, constantly complaining about this, complaining about that, and, it just sounds like they're living a miserable life. And when you have a negative outlook on everything, your life is going to be miserable. I too used to be like this a long time ago, just constantly, negative thoughts in my head, constantly doubting everything. It just bared a lot of weight on me, and it really wasn't that healthy for me. Once I got rid of a lot of that negative thinking, a lot of that doubt, I started to get better mentally. When it comes to doing the natural health stuff, I've definitely heard people say, well, that's not going to work. And from my point of view, I look at that person and say, yeah, it's not going to work with that kind of an attitude. If you go and see a naturopath, they say that you need something that you really haven't heard of or you're not sure about, or you heard other people say that, that stuff just doesn't work, there's nothing to it, there's no evidence behind it and whatnot. And if you go in having that mindset, yeah, a lot of this stuff isn't going to work for you, because when you take the stuff and you think, oh, it's not going to work, your body, your mind is going to believe that what you just took isn't going to help. And so it won't. That's why having more of a positive thought, positive feedback on all of it will actually help. Let's say you're going to a naturopath for the first time for some issue and they recommend an herbal supplement. And well, you've never heard of this herbal supplement before. You've heard people say, oh, those herbal supplements, they don't work. But if you take it and you have the mindset that, hey, this is going to help me get better, you're going to have a much easier time healing from whatever issue you're having. So yeah, that is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and give it a like. And if you want to see more videos from me, go ahead and give me a follow. I'm looking forward to deep diving into some more of these topics. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, stay healthy, everyone.